the party has to really starkly look at, and I think first of all is in the diversity of the candidates it puts forward. When you look across our elected officials, our spokespeople, including our local councillors, we only have 2 BME spokespeople in the entire party and no elected officials who are BME as well. That is a huge issue for a city as diverse as London. And I really think, particularly with our Assembly and our mayoral candidacy, we have to look at selecting a broad range of candidates who reflect the diversity of London. I also think we need to make sure that we're picking the people who can communicate the messages most effectively. I think we have to have a real emphasis, actually, that the mayoral candidate isn't necessarily the person who picks the policies or decides the policies or comes up with the good ideas. They're here to communicate our messages. It's you guys who pick what the policy is and what the issues are. So that should be the priority. You are picking a communicator who can effectively communicate our messages. We also just need to make sure that we're getting out and about in our communities. We have a huge asset in London now, that we have the most amount of members we've ever had as a regional party. We have a huge opportunity to make sure that when people go out in their communities, out in their high streets, Green Party members are talking about our message and making sure they're hearing it, and we're not having it distorted through the media. So that is our opportunity.
Okay, no, let's go this way. Thanks. And Caroline's doing a brilliant job on the timing here. This is right, Rashid.
Okay, in regards to the Greens and the media profile and how we communicate our messages, I was of the opinion that after May the 8th, we should have been out as Greens. This is my personal off-the-wall opinion. We should have been out aggressively recruiting new members, because the way people were so thoroughly depressed at the fact that the election delivered that result, we could have gone direct to the people with our members, and we should have been aggressively outside tube stations, train stations, transportation hubs saying, okay, now here we are, sign up, we're out to change this thing. Direct communication. I think in this current age of, we have our disposal all this different electronic media, one of the things that we did down in Dulwich and West Norwood, when we ran the campaign down there, we put out regular videos. Regular. It was tweeting like crazy. And we managed to increase the Green vote by 400%.
Time, please.
So just make it plain and make it very direct, because the media will always discredit us as Greens because of our agenda.
Can you pass it to Tom?
So I think there's a lot of things that as London Green Party we need to do. What the mayoral candidate needs to do, I think, is just pick 3 very simple themes and drive them home and make them credible and make people believe that we're a real alternative, and not fall apart in interviews and not get confused and not get too negative and leave people despairing, but give people the sense that when they go to the voting box they think, you know what, I want more Green Assembly members on the Assembly list, because these people are on my side, they share my values, they know what's wrong with London, they know where London needs to go. And that's what we need to have as a spokesperson through the mayoral candidacy. Somebody who really gets people excited about what London would be like if we had more Green Assembly members. Because you think, they've got the answers, and they've inspired me with them.
And Jonathan.
I think this is the crucial question for us as a party, particularly coming out of the general election. Someone said to me that you can break down voters into 3 kind of sections. It comes off the British Values Survey. You get your kind of radical progressives, which is most of the people in this room. Then you get your more aspirational middle people, and then there are the conservatives, the people that don't really want much change. They just want to be reassured and want to be safe and secure. We have to have messages that appeal to each one of those groups. Now, we have given ground to the Conservatives. I'm not saying we should shift to the right. I'm very happy where we are politically, thank you very much. But our language needs to change. We need to show that we are the party of efficiency. We are about reuse, recycling. We are about using London's waste. We need to show that we're the party of responsibility. What's more responsible than looking after your city, your environment, your community, and your planet? We need to be showing that we are about every single person. And unashamedly, I will say we need to make an offer, because people need to know that we have something to offer them. They need to know that it's credible and that we can appeal to everyone.
Caroline. Thank you.
I use as a measure when I'm thinking about what I'm about to say, either in the council chamber or to the local media in Islington, what would the people in the TRA, in the estate across the road from where I live, have to say about what this message is? Would they think it sounds sensible? Would they think this is someone who I can get behind? This is someone I agree with? I think we have to think about how our messages are working for people who live and work in London. And that means having a message that is positive, that seems rational, that seems sensible, and that makes our very radical agenda, you know, take transport for example. Actually, we would really like to see many fewer cars in London. That is quite a radical proposition. But if we can present it in a way that is positive, that makes people see that they could have a more livable city, then we get that message across and we come across as a real alternative for London.
Okay, so thank you. In terms of credibility in the media, I do think the media will always try to mischaracterise us in various ways and not give us credibility. I have shown that they are winnable over. I have won their endorsements before, and I can make green policies sound like common sense. But having the right mayoral candidate who can communicate and all that kind of thing, I don't think is the most important thing here. Like the questioner asked, how do we build on the green surge? How do we run the bigger campaign that we need next year? And I think, you know, my argument that we open up our campaigning, that we, in lots of ways, throw our previous targeting out of the window. All that was doing was helping us to focus on people who are already voting green. We need to reach every area of London, and we need to get our campaigning out there. And I think the best way we do it, the best way we reach more people, is to work with more different people as well. We need to work with campaigners, bring them into our campaigning, broaden our reach throughout the whole of London using that. And so that's my argument, really. Open up our campaigning, work with a wider range of people, and that way I think we can actually win and take the surge to the next level.